running through my head all at the same time. Is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Before we get started, some of y'all might recognize this set. If you guys know, if you guys been a fan, this used to be the set of Doing Dope Shit podcast that I was a part of that's been repurposed to Killjoy Studios for the time being. Today, I am going to talk to somebody I've been wanting to talk to for a long time that I've never... This is officially our first time meeting.
Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name is Manny, or I go by Manny Flores Films. I'm a creative director, photographer, videographer, creative director here in Bakersfield, California.
Yeah, so today I'm going to sit down and talk to Manny about his freestyle rap series show.
Yes, sir.
Bars on Wheels, and then the adjacent ride-along.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, man, so before we get into that, because I got a lot of questions, as you know, let's just, how's your day, man? How you been doing?
It's going good, bro. We actually just finished filming like 5 episodes for Ride Along, so that was a pretty productive day. Other than that, that's going great, bro.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, man. Today's a Sunday, so it's always a weird day for me. Yeah, Sundays, you know, okay. It's kind of like I want to finish up everything I didn't get to do during the week, but I also want to just relax.
Facts.
So it's interesting, but to the end of the day, tomorrow's Monday. It's time to get back at it.
Correct.
Hey, man. So let's talk about Bars on Wheels.
Go for
it. First of all, I really like the idea of a freestyle rap show, especially mobile. You know what I mean? It's like nobody that's a really untapped market. I know there's like the carpool karaoke or whatever, but as far as being in Bakersfield, it's an untapped market. You know, so where did the idea come from? Why decide, hey, let's do a Bars on Wheels freestyle thing?
I think the whole motivation behind it was how can I? It was actually a really selfish reason. I think it all came down to like how can I experience musical talent, that I really enjoy, and that I could curate for myself, right? Like how do I experience the most rawest shit there, right? And I immediately connected it to freestyling. And I was like, yo, let me just create something and curate and just invite people and just make music for me to fuck with and like really vibe out to. Because ultimately it's just for fun, right? And it brings joy to me. But as a music video director, that's what I started with. I kind of touched with, and met a lot of like rappers, hip hop artists,
right?
Here in town in LA in different areas, and from that I was like, yo, there's a lot of untapped potential, right? Especially in that like freestyle, market, like you're saying. So I was like, yo, let me just create a game. Let me make this shit fun, and then that's how Bars on Wheels came.
Yeah, no, that's definitely dope, and I don't want to say it's a selfish reason because I do the same thing, even before I started Killjoy, I've always had an affinity for rappers who are maybe on the up and coming rappers because they usually have like the rawest talent. Yeah. So now that I have a mag, I spend all day looking for new music for myself, not just share it with everybody. So I definitely understand that, wanting to do that. But who all makes up the Bars on Wheels team?
Yeah, so there's 2 of us. Me, myself, I'm the creator of it, and then there's a designated driver, and that's my friend Joseph. So he's in charge of kind of like driving, and he kind of helps me curate a lot of things. When I need extra help with different things, but yeah, it's just 2 of us, and then like a select videographers and photographers when we go shooting for content. But originally just 2 people.
You guys, whose car do you guys drive?
It's my van. It's my work van.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's what I use for all the equipment and stuff. So it only made sense. It was the most affordable, and it just made it. There was no excuse for not to do it because I already had a studio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just took advantage of it.
No, that's dope. So I know you talk about your inspiration as far as why wanting to do something like this, right?
Yeah.
But there's different avenues you could have taken it, right?
Correct.
As far as doing the freestyle, because I know there's somebody else in town who has it's not necessarily the same, but it's still related with the rap scene. So why specifically in a car, in a van? Why choose that route as opposed to
like a studio
to anything
or anywhere
else?
One, it stands out. Right,
it does.
It definitely it's not a unique setting. right? And then two, I originally started a podcast like 3 years ago, maybe 4. It's called Food Diaries, just like FOO. And it was with a friend at Joseph, at another Joseph at work. And I came up with the idea of doing a podcast in the car, but it was stationary. So I gave up on that podcast a long time ago, and nothing ever came out of it, right? So now that I came up with this idea of freestyling and the whole Bars on Wheels thing, I was like, yo, let's just, do the same shit, but make that shit move. Yeah. And I had to find somebody to drive and stuff. But honestly, man, it's just the way of standing out. I figured that there's a lot of people already doing like, simple stationary kind of just post up in a nice alley or a dope alley, put a microphone or something and just literally rapping. So I had to really think out of the box here and like literally like what's something unconventional and still fun and something that'll be like, yo, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
And that's what I thought of.
No, it's definitely unconventional. Nowadays, you kind of have to, we were talking earlier about making people care.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to care about something when you don't see it every day.
Correct.
Right?
Good point.
When you're scrolling through YouTube and it's like, yo, what the hell is this? So I definitely, applaud you on that aspect. What goes into a production? I mean,
yeah.
You said earlier today you were recording one. What goes into production? Talk about the processes like from start to finish.
Yeah. So when it comes to, originally just started as freestyle. So Bars on Wheels Freestyle, that entails obviously a video game setting. Right. So there's like different levels in the game, and all levels are different. And it's a kind of the point to challenge the artist, right? So those games, obviously we curated them, when making the show. But there's also an interview portion, and I think that's something that's not really spoken about. And that's where I really go in and do my research with the art about the artist.
Right.
Whether that's like find who follows them and reach out to them. Find out people they've done features for like literally long time ago. I reach out to their engineers, producers. I do all of that for that part of the show. So I think that's a really big part of the process for Bars on Wheels Freestyle. And then ultimately it's just the editing, the energy behind it, right? Like how can I approach this episode with the right energy and the right way to like hype, get hype with the artist,
Yeah.
And then at the end, I think the most important part is me actually caring for the artist, right? I don't want to choose artists that I don't care about.
Right.
And I think that's another part of the process in really, curating the best episode I could do.
Right.
Right. So I think things like that, that really play in.
Yeah. So you mentioned something that kind of I relate to, right? I have a bunch of questions, but I want to talk on this really quick.
No,
you mentioned about the artist, caring about the artist, and only picking out the artist that you care about. Just how far do you think that can take you? Because I kind of do something similar where I interview artists, I feature artists, and maybe not their their talent, but I have to do my research and do that. And a lot of the artists that I've put in there are people that I either are fans of or I personally like.
Correct.
And being a creative, you can attest to this, we're not going to like everything we do, especially if somebody else is buying it or paying for it. We're not going to like everything we do, but if they like it, so what? Do you ever think you'll come to a point where maybe the artist is not somebody you particularly like, and it's just, I know this is going to do well for the numbers and stuff like that? Not necessarily selling out, but
correct. No, I don't think I ever will do that. Have somebody on my show, because the way I see it is, the only way the episode is gonna do well, or the only way I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of this episode, is if I give a fuck about your music. I give enough energy or care about you enough to put enough energy to, find the best questions. Right. Do my research. Right. Because I'm literally investing my time and finding out who you are, right, beyond the music, right? I think it would be very difficult for me to fake, getting
fake
excited,
the love.
You know what I'm saying, fake the love, and I don't want to do that because it does a disservice to the show, and it's just being dishonest to myself and obviously to the artist as well. I don't think I could do that. But yeah, it's really important because I have to be very selective. For the Bars on Wheels freestyle, there's only 8 episodes a season. Right. So that's 8 fucking artists that I have to be very selective about. Right. For this first season, we got 43 submissions.
Oh damn.
Right. For the freestyle.
Yeah.
Right. In California, all people that were close. Right. I could go to LA. There's a lot of people in LA that were reaching out, but I didn't choose. Obviously, I didn't choose them, all of them. So I had to be really selective on who's dedicated to their music. Right. Who actually has character behind their music. Who actually has something to say. Who's committed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So things like that do play an effect. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit jealous of you in that aspect because you're right. Everything you do is visually, so it's hard to kind of fake the funk visually.
Oh yeah, bro.
For me, everything is behind words,
Correct,
so I can,
correct.
there's been times where somebody has submitted a song to me and I don't necessarily like the song, but I respect it enough to.
That's a good point. Good fucking point. I did not think about that. You're right.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother. Yeah,
it's as I'm saying. They've submitted music, not saying that what I've gotten sucks. It's just not what I like.
Yeah.
If it sucks, I'm not putting it in there. I'm just.
Correct.
But I just haven't been a fan. But it's easier for me to fake the funk if I just got to write about it as opposed to it being visually. Yeah. So I'm a little bit jealous of you in that fact. But it's all right. So earlier you mentioned you kind of have to test their dedication to the music to be on the show. Bars on Wheels is a freestyle show, which is inherently a hip hop thing to do for freestyling.
Yeah,
a bunch of questions about that. But what is your relationship to hip hop, where you feel like this is something that makes sense for you to do?
Honestly, man, there's no. Other than the fact that I did music videos when I started, right? That was like my come up. That's how when I came to Bakersfield, bro. Moving from LA, that was how I introduced myself to the scene.
Right.
That's how I put my name, Manny Flores Films. Oh, directed by Manny. And it slowly, was like becoming my thing. But I just realized it wasn't long term. It just wasn't gonna be there for me. And so, other than that fact, and the fact that I fucking love just rap music, and I, that's just part of, just life, my life and shit. There's no, it makes no sense for why me to just start this shit out of nowhere and really invest myself like that. But I think ultimately, man, it's just you find something that really you connect with, and with music, I feel like there's infinite ways you could connect with music, right?
Facts.
Whether that's sad music, hip hop, pop, or whatever it is.
Whatever, yeah.
There's just something about it that really transcends beyond like any basic connection. And when you hear people just freestyle, bro, and like make something so beautiful like that, and I'm like, you become impressed. You hear that shit, and you're like, what the fuck are you like? How the fuck you do that, right? It's just, how can you not be addicted to that?
Right.
To that feeling. Like, this motherfucker is pouring his heart out because I gave him a fucking challenge. And I told him to rap this word, and he has to do that because I'm trying to curate the best possible episode. Yeah. And he's gonna do that for me, for us, for himself, right?
Right. That's the best part.
And you just witness it. That's all I gotta do, bro.
Yeah.
I just see him do what he loves to do. So and it almost makes you jealous.
Yeah.
I'm envious of that because
Yeah.
I can't do that shit. I cannot fucking. I can't rap.
I can't. I can rap. I can't even rap like other people's words good, and
facts.
And it's like hip hop. A big part of hip hop is freestyling, which, if you ask me, is a lost art. Nobody truly freestyles anymore. They just write a verse or do this and say it's a freestyle, which I guess people accept, so that's fine.
Never understood that. I still don't understand.
I don't. It's freestyling to me is coming off the top, no nothing. Yeah. And I assume the people on your show, they do that, right? They stay true to.
Yeah. That's the point of the games.
Okay.
There was I figured that there was no way because people, you're right. People could write shit down, and just have it stored in there and just bust it out when it's necessary for that freestyle.
That's usually what people do. That's, to me, if you ask me what freestyling is today, I think that's the common definition.
I agree.
I wrote it down a while ago. I'm not using it for an official song,
So no one will ever find it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think that's why the games really showcase like who the fuck could do it and who can't.
Yeah.
It's not with season 1 at least, but with season 2 of Bars on Wheels, that is like if you could freestyle, bro, you are completing all those 3 challenges.
Right.
And just because, and it's just because I fixed it in a way that there's no way you could practice for it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you could have that shit rated. Is literally, and I quote one of the artists. He says, he's like, "Damn, Cuddy, you really can't practice for this." And I was like, "You're right. That's the whole point." So yeah, man, I think that's the whole point of Bars on Wheels, to really make a statement and really make it clear that if you could freestyle, you're gonna do this show.
Right.
You're gonna go through this show and complete these games, and that's kind of like the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like back to my earlier question as far as like why do you feel like this is I guess the best suited for you, because nowadays a lot of people like authenticity. You know what I mean? If people can see and understand that this is something that you care about, or that they kind of respect your wanting to do this, then they'll mess with it. They'll fuck with it. So I like that. I feel a lot. You said a lot of the artists, they come through, they want to be a part of it. What's been kind of like, I guess from the first episode to now, how has that audience changed? Has it changed? As far as like watching it and then your people being receptive to it.
Yeah, I think when I was kind of like looking for artists to do it initially, it was all like people that I kind of knew of, and people that I've known that were really confident with freestyling. I kind of just word of mouth marketing, just like, "Hey, bro, do you freestyle? Yeah or no?" And I would just decide from there. But now with the traction with social media, and kind of just the momentum of and actually like the display of talent, right? The audience itself, whether that's like fans or other artists who can't necessarily freestyle but still fuck with the show, and other artists who do freestyle,
right? They've
all reciprocated with the same energy, saying like, "Oh, the potential for this is huge."
Of course,
right? And it's a lot of competitive energy. It's a lot of like who the like put me on. Or let me get on.
And that opens a completely different conversation, because you've joined this group of people who are showcasing individual people.
Yeah.
And so it's just natural for everybody else on the outside to see it as a competition, whether it is or not, even though technically with the games and stuff, it kind of is.
It is
competition based, but they, now they see you and they look at Bars on Wheels as another way to showcase how great they are. So welcome to the game. Now people are going to come up to you and say, "Oh, I'm not good enough to be on the show," or
correct,
"I'm this or that," so yeah, that's dope. I didn't mean to cut you off as far as
you're completely right, bro.
Yeah. So what I have so many questions. It's hard to kind of like formulate them
cool,
in a train. So I apologize. It's gonna be bouncing all the way around.
I appreciate the commitment, bro. I appreciate the effort to curate these questions and really come up with them and take your time and literally having me here. So
yeah, and it's hard because, like I said, that's one interviewing is kind of the weird part, because I have like a set list of questions, and sometimes they don't follow in order, and then you'll say something where I would be like, "Damn, I want to talk more about what he said rather than this or that," because it's like, what's the end goal? I mean, what like so real quick. Sorry guys. the potential for the show is amazing. There are other freestyle entities out there, but none in the capacity that you operate, and you're kind of in a level of your own, which already is amazing. Where do you plan on taking it? Where's like the end goal for Bars on Wheels?
Yeah, I think with I haven't really sat down and really thought about that, but if I were to give you an answer just right out the bat, I'm like, where would it be cool?
Where would you like it to go?
I think to a point where we're traveling and getting paid to travel, and creating a tour-wide type setting. Like literally, we post up like a state-to-state competition, right? And finding the best of the best freestyle artists,
right,
in each different state. I think that'd be really cool. First, it'll allow me to travel, right? and travel literally with people I fuck with.
Yeah.
And then just literally just hear people fucking spit their heart out. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where I think it'll be cool. But if I really have to think about it, it all comes down to community. So if Bars on Wheels does get to the point where I want, what that would look like is me hosting festivals or me hosting shows, whether that's in a backyard, in a small venue, things like that. That's what I want to do, especially like in in different cities.
Right.
Something I have planned for Bars on Wheels soon here in Bakersfield is I plan to have a live show, in where the artists freestyle live. And it's the whole setting is still gonna be like a video game,
Right.
To test those that freestyle shit, and it literally create that community aspect. I have my dad fucking making tacos, bro, like
Right.
creating games, inviting people, literally a free event, proud to pay event.
Yeah.
You pay whatever you feel this is worth, things like that, and I think that would just bring again joy to the overall music scene, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically here in Bakersfield, but in a grander scale, I see us doing tours, going to different states and challenging different artists.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
I especially like the fact as far as bringing it, like doing it at home first, because we kind of talked on this a little bit, but every creative I know who creates in the aspect where they give back to people, because I know a lot of photographers, videographers, but they take pictures, they do this, they don't ever give back in a broader picture, like with doing a freestyle show or whatever. So wanting to do a show out here and keeping it in house, I think that's dope. I'm a little biased because I run a magazine out here, so my entire movement is as much as the city wants it to be.
Correct.
So I think that's really dope, and the potential's there. Freestyling, like I keep saying, is a lost art. The way you present it to the people is nothing. I've never seen it.
Thank you.
See a bunch of freestyle shows, and it's shows that are already kind of like based in. They go to different cities and they already do some of the things you're wanting to do, but it's stationary. Not saying it's a lost art, but it's just nobody does it in a car. Nobody does it in a car, and I think that's the aspect that's going to take you far, pun intended, because it's the moving car.
The moving car.
Yeah, but dad joke. But I think that's what's going to take you far, is like as long as you keep being dedicated to that aspect, it should be no problem.
Do you I feel like it you kind of just made me think about this. It's like literally the car aspect is the only way I'm like differentiating myself.
Well, no. So 2 things. There's 2 things that I do that.
Which is good. I'm not offended.
No.
It's something I have to think about.
No, see, look, there's 2 things that. The reason you're sitting on this couch that we're doing this is because I think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
It's nothing short of amazing. Everybody that I mess with is nothing short of amazing. There's 2 aspects that. The car aspect is a really great aspect because it's different.
Yeah.
The freestyling aspect, the true to freestyle, that's what's gonna get the real rappers, the real hip hop heads to be like, hey, I like this. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Because not like keep saying it, freestyling. A lot of people just write the music and then they say it as a freestyle. Nothing wrong with that. It's good music. But for rappers to really test their abilities in a setting, it's how well can you rap without having anything written.
Correct, off the dome.
And the fact that you stay true to that and you don't compromise on having somebody come something written, to me, that's what's going to take you the furthest, because nobody does that. Even with these stationary freestyle shows, a lot of it is written.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you stay true to that is what, to me, is why I fuck with it.
Yeah.
The car thing is an added bonus. Oh shit, it's in a car. Well, how do they get this off? How do they recording this? That's an added bonus.
Yeah.
But with anything, you'll have to. There's always levels of elevation you'll need to hit. So. But yeah, don't get it wrong. It's not just the car aspect. No. It's not just the car aspect, but that's the wow factor. Not gimmick, because gimmick is corny. But that's the wow factor. This is something different that I've never seen. Oh, and they stay true to freestyling? I'm hooked. You know,
appreciate it.
Yeah,
I got it. Okay.
yeah. So recently you debuted. I don't know if it's a separate show or if it's just in tandem with Bars on Wheels Ride Along.
Yeah. So there's obviously the origin, which is Bars on Wheels Freestyle, but this is like a separate series of Bars on Wheels. It's called Ride Along. It was meant to highlight people who obviously don't freestyle, but still are talented artists and make good music. I had to find a way to incorporate other people,
Of course.
other talent,
Of
right? Because not all the time, are we gonna appreciate freestyle, right? So there has to be some sort of off season, right? So in this month of filming for Ride Along, we're also filming for Bars on Wheels Freestyle Season 2, which is gonna come later in October, right? So in this break, we're almost giving them a commercial of fucking other talent,
Right.
And it's a breath of fresh air for sure, because I'm listening to R&B artists, I'm listening to pop artists, you know what I'm saying? Because there's only so much rap you could really take in.
Digest.
You know what I'm
There's
saying?
only so much.
I want at a certain degree you get tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
People just talking about certain shit is like, bro, like, breathe, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
No.
I think that was the point of Ride Along, and it helps curate a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of talent out there that needs to be showcased, and I think that's important.
Yeah, and that goes back to the whole level of elevation that I was talking about. Is like, all right, you have your base core, what you do, and then you start adding little bits here, little bits there,
Little sprinkles.
to try and incorporate everybody else. Because there is a lot of talent out here who a lot of them maybe can't freestyle.
Yeah.
But this gives them a way to feel included
Correct.
and join the aspect of what it means to be a part of Bars on Wheels.
Correct.
So that's dope. I see you guys pull up to the mall. You guys do your footwork. Talk about the footwork part of that.
Yeah, bro. So that mall that weekend was a lot of promotional content we did for Juani OG's episode.
Yeah.
Because the season finale was that Friday. So I had to think of, like I said, I have to think about shit that is just not a I have to think of uncommon shit, right?
Yeah.
So freestyling to strangers in Bakersfield, I think in itself, Bakersfield doesn't have much activity.
Yeah, I mess with the vision. I love it. I love the vision. It's just freestyling Bakersfield sounds crazy.
Yeah, so I had to do it, bro. I told Juani, I was like, bro, this is what we're doing today. Give me at least 5 good reactions. Give me 5 good people. Right, this is all I need for content.
Yeah,
I'll be happy with this. This is a successful media day. That motherfucker ended up giving me that weekend, bro. That Saturday alone, bro, was 22 pieces of content, 22 pieces of reactions.
Yeah,
they were like, what the fuck? And that we passed out flyers.
Yeah,
we have a little crew of like 4 of us. A videographer, obviously, Joseph and I, and then obviously the artist, and then another like person that passing to focus on flyers and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, man, I think when we did that day, bro, that Saturday, we started at like 1 and we left at like 3, and it was great, bro. The energy was great, just because people don't see that shit.
It's not normal, you know.
It's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's not normal. It's like I seen one of the things. You went to Zoomies.
Oh,
it's like, and I knew one of the
guys. An artist.
Yeah, Cam Crunch. Shout out
to him, bro.
I was like, yo, Cam Crunch in this. Like,
he's doing an episode for Ride Along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, bro, let me do an episode with your band.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
It's funny because I thought he was a rapper. Like when I was doing my research, and I thought he was a rapper, and then I felt, he's lead singer of a band.
He's a lead singer, bro.
That's dope.
Yeah, and his reaction was iconic, bro, because he had seen another artist episode. He saw Vinny Schultz episode, and he was like, bro, you did Vinny Schultz episode? And I was like, what the fuck? You know about us already?
Because that's the one that I posted on the page. Because Vinny Schultz, that was a great. He could really freestyle.
He's great.
He was great.
Yeah, Vinny's great.
I was like, yo, what is this? And I don't know if it was my first introduction to Bars on Wheels, but it definitely was my most memorable to date. So I posted it on the thing.
He's smooth.
Yeah, and a lot of people was like, what's this? So I think,
Facts.
Yeah.
Great.
So
that's great. I love it.
Earlier, I have to ask everybody this. You can choose to answer if you don't want to answer.
Yeah,
go
for it.
What's been your favorite?
Favorite episode?
Favorite episode. And by favorite, I mean who's been the best.
Favorite episode.
Or just favorite, whatever is the most fun recording.
It's funny because when we were planning for season 2, Bars on Wheels, Joseph and I, and then one of our videographers, Saifa, we were deliberating about this, and we were all re-listening to the episodes as we were driving back from LA that weekend.
Right.
Dropping off Juani OG at the airport. We were driving back, and we were stuck in traffic, and we were listening to all the episodes. And we were literally analyzing every bar, what they were saying, how they were saying it, whether they were repeating certain lines, certain words, their cadence. And personally, and I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this.
Yeah,
bro.
be careful.
I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. You're asking for my favorite.
Yeah,
your
favorite.
I won't say it's. I don't think it was the best, maybe.
Yeah.
But the one I enjoyed the most, and it made me really happy, and it made me just like wow. Was I Hate You, Alex. And he was episode 3. And the reason I say him was because, number one, as an artist, I really enjoyed digesting into who he is as a character and who, and you know, how he kind of goes about his music. Right. And if you really look at his portfolio and his resume, music videos, great. He has a great team. Features, great. Albums, beautiful. Production, up there. Like, it's really, it's just on another level of dedication. Right. And I could appreciate that. Right. So right off the bat, I fuck with him as an artist. So the interview part was great. And if you notice the questions I did with his episode versus everybody else's episodes, it's different. Right. Because those questions were so in there, were so like to his history that even he was like, what the fuck? Like, on some Nardwuar shit. Exactly what he said. And his reaction was amazing. And I love that. And so that right off the bat shows that I fuck with you enough to, you know, think of those questions. And then, you know, most importantly, the freestyle. And I think for me, the freestyle was just how smooth he was, and it was fun. I was enjoying it. Not saying I was enjoying the other ones, but I really felt his fucking passion. Right. And maybe it was the right moment. Maybe it was that day. Maybe it was that freestyle because it was the first one of the day. But it just spoke to me. And also, I'm not gonna lie, bro. The last level 3, he did an iconic beat. He did an iconic instrumental. I think it was Jay-Z's beat. I forgot what it was called. Beautiful. He fucking killed it, bro. And it was just great. That's dope. I was like, wow.
That's dope. Yeah.
Like, wow.
All right, so you're the one that curates as far as the build of the show. What beats the rappers go on? How do you?
Yeah. So when you get accepted, when you get invited to the show, I always ask you. I send you a questionnaire of different questions.
Super due diligence.
Whether that's like who's your favorite artist? How would you describe your music? What kind of artist would you compare yourself to? Which artist do you dislike the most? Things like that. Yeah. And with that information, I always try to find a beat or instrumental similar to the artist that they don't like. Right? Because I wanna test them, right? Yeah. Artists that they do like, and then I listen to their music, their resume of music, and then I decide. I make that decision. Then I have at least 6 instrumentals ready for them, free beats, and then I just choose them as we go. And it's just they have the decision to change them if they want, right? But they'll lose a life. But no one has changed the beat yet. So I think I'm doing a good job so far.
Yeah, so far you're doing a great job.
Yeah, choosing the right beat. So they that's how it works.
That's dope, man. Yeah, seeing that just goes back to you care about this in a light that most people don't, and that makes for great content. You know, because you do your due diligence. You really get to know the person as far as they're artistically, and that provides for the best content because you cater to what they want, what they like, what you know people will be interested in.
Correct.
You know, so that's dope. I think I ran through all of everything that I have. I got a full gist of what you plan on to do with the concept with the show, which I think you'll get there, man. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
You'll get there. As far as the creation about it, it's a real dope thing. It's one of those things where you don't have there's nobody else in your lane.
Yeah.
You know, all these car puns is funny,
Lane.
but there's nobody. There's nobody else in your lane, so you have the ability to do with your show whatever it is you want. Take it as far as you want to take it. You know, so the wheels fall off. Do you have anything else? Any questions for me? Anything else you wanna let people know? Any insight to what's coming up in the future?
Can I give a quick shout out to
give all the shouts out you want. More people I can tag, the better.
Of course, like the people, obviously my team and stuff. You know, Joseph, my videographers and stuff like that. But there's one person I don't really like boasting about him too much because people get tired of it. Once I do it, I mention him and then I just stop. I can't stop mentioning him.
Right.
It's this artist named Lil Russell. Dude, bro, that guy, man, he's my inspiration. He's the reason like I'm focused on content. He's the reason I'm like posting so much. He's the reason like I'm really seeing this as like a long-term game. There's some things, bro, that he just says that are really like fuck, like he's speaking to me, bro. Like
right.
I kid you not. Recently BarzOnWheels got an offer to be bought. And I have nobody knows about this.
You should have talked about this earlier, but
there was a song. There's a song, and he's a song he made. It's called "Fuck the Industry." It's a live session that he had, Lil Russell. It has Neighborhood Hero in the back, and he's like freestyling the fuck out of it. And there's the line goes like, "Pops just says it's business. Whose business? If they can't see my worth, I cannot do business." And he just kept on going on. And after hearing that number, obviously of what I was offered for the show,
right.
I was like, "What the fuck?
How does that even work?" Like,
dude, I don't know, bro. Someone with money, bro, just came up to, we had a call and he was talking about being a partner.
Yeah.
And he said, I wanna be a part of this. Essentially led down to like he wants me to work for him. He wants the show to work for that person. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, what is going on here?
Nah.
And it got to the point where like, how much you want for it? Because he was getting the point. He was getting the point that I did not want part of it.
Right.
And he said, how much you want for it? And I was like, how much you gonna pay? I didn't say like what the show. I said what the show, and I was like, I don't know. I'm not selling it. He's like, how much you want for it? And I was just like, I don't know, like how much you want.
It's not something you ever think about.
I don't fucking think about that shit. Yeah. And in the song "Fuck the Industry," he talks about how he's like, I thought it was for show. You should have offered me more.
Right.
And I'm telling you, Lil Russell's speaking to me, bro. And I feel him, bro. And his music, bro, I feel it, bro. And like literally, I'm going through that same that same process.
Right.
Right. I'm getting offers, bro. Turning them down, bro, because they're too low. Right. I'm posting, but no one's watching my videos.
Right.
Right. Like I'm probably gonna do a show one day soon for BarzOnWheels. I don't know if people are gonna show up. Right. There's a bunch of shit that he's doing, that he's laying the blueprint for me. And I'm using it as inspiration, and I'm trying to pave my own path and like understanding him and literally watching every fucking move he's doing. And at the end of the day, I just want to shout him out, Lil Russell, major fucking like big inspiration for me, bro.
Right.
And I invite him to the show. He did reply. He did we did a whole video for him and stuff, and he said received, and he'll think about it. I don't think that was like a true I'll think about it. I think it was just like a nice.
At least he was nicer enough to reply.
And I really appreciate that. And I don't really think about it too much. It doesn't like fucking haunt me, before I go to sleep. But it was a wake up call, and it really it motivated me, bro. I was like, fuck yeah, bro. Let's that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get to the point, bro, where the circle around you will know about the show.
Right.
And that's how I pictured it.
Yeah.
And that's like my goal, to really get his attention, to one day be on my show.
That's dope, man. And speaking on somebody offering to buy it, I'm glad you said no, first of all.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
bro.
I feel like the show is still too new to even think about something like that. Because, you know, my second issue, I had somebody offer to make the mag for me. Like, they'll do everything, and I put my name on it. And I was like, no, I'm still, figuring out, all right, what's my voice? What's my avenue? And it's just, no. So that's a good accolade to keep there, knowing that already in its infancy, people are interested enough to want to buy it from you, you know.
Correct.
But I honestly think it is still too new, and just sitting here talking with you, getting to know you, because I've known about you before, you know, there's so many more ideas. There's so much more that you haven't reached yet for the show.
Correct.
That it'll get there, whether you conscious of it right now or you're not. You know, it'll definitely get there. Then you can start talking about selling the show if you want to. But not right now. I'm glad you said no. And then just to speaking on the whole trying to throw a show, if you're scared that people are going to show up and stuff like that, it's funny because a lot of my worries, you're speaking now, because I want to do a release party for Volume 4. I'm nervous nobody's going to show up. Regardless of who's on the cover, it's just, I don't know if my name is out there enough for people to be like, all right, this is something I believe in, that I can invest in, whether it be money or time, you know? And it all comes down to the same thing, is consistency. You continue to do Bars on Wheels, continue to put out content like you've been doing, it'll have no choice but to get to that point. Only question is it going to be tomorrow or in 3 years? You know, and then
it's a matter of time.
Then it's how dedicated are you to sticking it for 3 years?
Yes, sir.
You know, so... yeah, man, I've enjoyed this conversation. I know a lot of people are going to want to know. This gives insight to what you do as opposed to just watching it, you know, oh, Bars on Wheels. Now they know why you do what you do, how you do what you do, and, you know, how far you want it to go. You know, so, again, do you have any other questions for me? Anything you want to ask? Anything you want to tell the people?
The only thing I'll probably ask you, bro, is are you gonna come to the live show, bro?
Oh, hell yeah!
This is an official invitation,
no,
bro.
Look,
I'm inviting
listen,
you to be on the show.
I'm gonna ask for a media pass.
Oh, okay. You might not know. You already know, my boy.
You might not have. That's my thing now. Is when I hear people do shows, I want a media pass because.
Oh no, you're in, bro.
It gives me a chance.
You're in,
to,
bro.
You know,
I was thinking of having a whole booth for your magazine.
That would be dope.
I think that'd be really cool.
That would be.
But nah, I see the merch, bro, and I think that'd be really cool.
It's merch. I don't know if it's still recording.
It is recording.
But it's merch. Y'all buy hats, something, mags. I still got it all. But
yes,
man, I'm gonna be there.
For sure.
I'm gonna be there.
All right. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. I think throwing the show is the right move.
Bro, thank you so much for your time.
All right. Well, y'all heard it here first. I appreciate y'all rocking with us. I'm not really good at this interviewing thing, but fuck it, we got it done.
You did great, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, bro. That's it. Wrap it up.